Welcome back. I'm Patty Ann Brown, and as we promised, interesting new development, a big development in the digital music industry. Apple, right now, which runs iTunes, negotiating with several major music companies, including EMI, Warner, Sony, and Universal, to make iTunes downloads universally accessible and unlimited, not entirely unlimited, but let's find out the details on this from someone who can actually explain it better than me, which is Hillery Nye, a principal attorney at the Madrona Law Group. Thank you for joining us, Hillery.
Thank you so much for having me, Patty Ann. I appreciate this.
So what is what exactly would be the impact here?
So it's an interesting time because it's not really new for us to be able to have music in a variety of different places. In fact, when you go to Target and buy a shiny disc, you can take your CD and play it in a lot of different devices at whatever location is convenient to you. In iTunes, if you have iTunes, you may have had some frustrations because you can't play it just anywhere on any device. So what iTunes is trying to do is create an environment where a user can buy a piece of music once and use it anywhere. And right now, in order for us to use our iTunes library of music, we have to sync it up with our computer, carry a bunch of cords around with us. And what they're proposing to do is move this entire ecosystem over into what's called the cloud, and to create this consumer convenience, consumer ability to access these libraries anywhere at any time and not have to go through the cumbersome process of having to sync up their music libraries. And this all sounds pretty good, at least at first blush, and certainly Apple is touting it as being a very consumer-friendly service. But I think some other questions need to be asked about what you're really paying as a consumer for the privilege of all of that convenience.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, there are currently a lot of frustrations. I know myself, I've got several computers, and then I've got an MP3 player, and my husband has an MP3 player, and then maybe we want to put stuff on the CD plate in the car, and we're blocked at every turn. Supposedly, you can right now upload music, or download music, I guess is the term, to 5 computers that you own. You can register up to 5 computers. But we've followed the directions for that, and it's not working. There's just a lot of blocks in the way, and I'm assuming that the reason for that is that they don't want people sharing the music with other people. They don't want people making CDs for their friends.
Well, that's certainly one reason, and unfortunately, it doesn't always work. People will pirate music. There's no way to prevent that entirely. It's just a matter of making it more inconvenient to the end user or the consumer. I think what we're seeing, though, in the shift from a cloud-based service, because you're right, it does sound like such a great idea to be able to use these things anywhere and to be able to download this entertainment experience anywhere. In other words, we want to have the same experience we did when we were buying shiny discs from any old retail environment. But what we're really seeing now is this desire to be able to be portable and to be able to use a variety of devices of our choosing, which necessarily create some conflicts between those who are device sellers, like an Apple, and those who are record labels who want to maintain a relationship with their consumers. And I think the interesting thing we're seeing by shifting from a traditional model of downloading your music onto a computer and then enabling others to share that music only in a limited ecosystem, what we're seeing is a shift to this cloud-based system where it's almost like having a digital locker. So in the cloud, I can put all of this information and I can put all of my media. And it's not actually a new concept. The technology already supports it. Folks like Pandora, Amazon.com are already offering these things. Right. I think what's significant with Apple, though, is that they control 70% of the market when it comes to digital music.
Right.
So what that means for the consumer, though, is that in order for me to actually use this new offering, I have to be willing to give up a certain amount of privacy and a certain amount of information about myself in order for it to work.
Okay.
So if I... So, for instance, if like me, if you've got a closet Bieber fascination, which now obviously I don't, since I've just announced it. If I'm jogging at 3 in the afternoon around Green Lake in Seattle, everybody's going to know that, at least behind the curtain. And I think that's where I'm not seeing the conversation heading.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry, Hillary, we're going to have to leave it there. We're getting told we have to wrap. But very interesting. A lot of potential there, but a lot of complications, as you say, a lot of questions. We'll have to see how it goes. Hillary and I now out of